Yes, please.
Within our society, and to publish peer-reviewed journal, and to have some, some dedicated projects where student can really work from Nepal. Those scientific community usually scheduled to have meeting at least 6 months in a 6 months. But sometimes we have some discussions and email exchange with our scientific advisor. We have scientific advisor from both mixed kind of scientific advisors with Nepali origin, Nepali and the foreigners who are actually helping us to develop our community over a period of time in Nepal. And then we have like in a legal entity in Nepal, we have board of directors structure. So we have 5 board of directors who actually have a meeting virtual. Most often we have virtual meetings, and most of the time it was, like, because we all know what is happening, so it's an exchange of emails. So we don't use very paper, like minuting, sign. We use emails a lot, so we use ICT a lot. So boards is scheduled to have meeting at least 3 months a week, and that is actually driving and guiding with the help of scientific advisory committee to the executive office, which actually looks after day-to-day activities. And since we don't have a strong funding mechanism, and there is no substantial source of income, so two of us from board of directors, Manisha and myself, is actually working as a full-time volunteer in executive office. It's more than full-time, 24/7, I would say. And we also have two members working in executive committee with a role of space application lead and space technology lead to support our space related activities, and they are working on the roadmap and our workflow and the strategy, how we can integrate the space components in an academic environment, so that we can really create an environment where people can do study, work, when they got motivated through our outreach programs, and they really want to do something for their career. So the executive office actually looks after we have two dimensions. We separated astronomy and astrophysics program at one side and space program on another side, and mostly we are known that people know us from ANA programs, and even in ANA they are actually remembering us from our outreach efforts. So in both space science and astronomy and astrophysics program, we have several units which we want to develop. I call it unit. Our team call it unit because it's not very large. It may be sometimes after some time, if it grows, like we can say division or something, but it's very small at the moment, with lots of work. So we have outreach unit, education unit, research unit, and special chapters. So we have special chapters, like we are associated with different international organizations, and we have special programs that we really feel that important to empower our kids and youngsters especially. So we have special chapters as well. So besides that, we divided our programs. It's not very rigid. They are not that separated. They are interrelated, but in one section, one unit is related to other, but basically we wanted to identify this because we really want to see our growth and put effort to make a balanced growth over a course of time. So this is the overall structure of our society, working for more than a decade. If we look at a quick overview, I really like this one, so I wanted to show this. I usually show this many times. So we started with outreach since 2007, and then we because when we started doing outreach, that people started knowing about the stuff, they started generating their interest in science, and then what next? Then we were actually forced and motivated by people's interest to start educational program. Because they wanted to know where they can go and study, how they can prepare themselves for their academic career in science, particularly astrophysics, astronomy, and space science, like aerospace, aerospace engineering, aeronautical engineering, or mechanical engineering, even automobile, or physics, astrophysics, cosmology, whatever. I mean, it's related, like scientific, computer engineering as well. So they wanted to do computer science. So they really want to see how they can connect the career path with our community. Then we started doing our educational programs, and we started with our teachers training first, then because we really want to take the message, like send the message to the students from a teacher's perspective and to school as well. So we had a few teachers training program called in the name of Galileo Teachers Training Program, which we shut down in 2015, and we revised in a different form. And then we started from 2014, we started a program called National Astronomy Olympiad, because most of our people reaching us is youngsters, and they got excited and motivated with our information, and they come to us and they ask, how can I pursue my career in astrophysics or astronomy or space science? To guide them, we started this early stage talent hunt program from 2014. This year we did 7th edition, and since last year we started this junior section as well, because over the course of time we realized that if we really want to bring some change, if we really want to empower those kids, to going and pursue their career in science, we really need to go deeper, closer to the early stage, from junior high school. So we decided to include from the school students of class 8 to 10, basically less than 16 years, to our junior section of a junior category of National Astronomy Olympiad. And we started organizing the junior section as well since last year. And interestingly, we received a bronze medal on the first year. So it's quite promising for us, and we still have to look how it goes over the coming years. And then, when we started doing education, like by this time, I saw that some of our students that who came first time in our Olympiad programs, they are graduating. This pandemic time, they are graduating virtually, and they are in touch. Some of them have initiated some very cool projects, and some of them, some of our colleagues also who were at the very first stage, they are finishing their postdoctorate, even postdoctorate. Some of them are doing doctorate, completing doctorate. So we really want to grow our research component with the help of all these, our students, our members, our collaborators. So this is the path that we really want to hit, because head on, because now people are interested to know, what are the research activities you are doing. So it's really, again, a need of it's a demand of the society, from the public, that we should also start research programs. So we decided to start a research program from have quite good number of people in the pool and some projects, but it still needs more tuning to make it public before. So probably by the end of this year we'll be announcing something. So partnership, this is extremely important. So it is only because of the partnership, we can do all these activities related to outreach, education, research, and those partnership, again, the majority of our partners is public that participate. Public can be student, teachers, guardians, anyone. So we really value their efforts and their time to join us and to support our initiatives in Nepal. So this is how we are working in Nepal. So giving you a quick overview. Coming back to our outreach, approach, and I call it a big picture. So we make our all the activities free as much as possible. So, for example, we don't charge for our observation program that we conduct at our place, and we do programs in the schools and colleges, but we do also have some premium programs which help us to do some fundraising, to support our day-to-day activities at office. So we do press release, interactions, print media, online media, FM, radio, television. So it's we do have very wide range of to spread our information so that we really reach people on ground. So the end users, the public, at the end, public could be anyone, as I explained earlier. So we have very well developed strategic plan to reach people. So I believe that's why we are heard by many people in Nepal, and whenever there is something, they reach out, they write us, and even most of the time we got called it, so they come to our office and they imagine that it should be like a big office. When they come, they visited our office, some of them said that, it's the office, something like that, like they visit, and these kinds of remarks comes time and often when people visit us. So this is how we release our press release. So because media needs a clear understandanding and clear message. It's not that media doesn't want to support. They don't want to support the science. It's us, a scientific community people who are, from our experience, unable to tell our scientific discoveries in a simple manner that public understand. So our job, major job, is to make those information very like easy to understand, so that people can understand easily, and also media take initiative to take this message to the public without any hustle. So for observations, you can see why I got so much motivated. Our teams are so much putting efforts on it, putting their money from their own pockets, without even financial support, funding, major funding sources. Why we are doing so much effort in the country, you can easily get an answer from these pictures. You see the smile in this child's face, you see the smile in that old man's face. This is a real drive for us to go further and deeper into the society, bringing science and helping them to understand science, and get rid of hoax and superstitious beliefs that is prevailing deeply in our society. So we do school college visits. I saw lots of time that our researchers, our speakers always using pictures, and even like our visiting faculties, friends sharing pictures of doing outreach in different schools in Nepal. So I decided to take these pictures from Brazil. It was in Brazil that I was doing outreach and interacting with the kids. You can easily see the principal is standing over there, the lady in the black skirt, and I was delivering lectures to the kids there. It was a government school there. So we do visit schools and colleges not only in Nepal. So it's not that we don't visit the schools in Nepal. We also visit schools in other countries. We have even reached so far, it is the farthest place we have reached, Brazil, to visit, interact, and to get some insights on how we can improve our outreach strategies, so that we can really empower kids to pursue their career in science. So we do support other initiatives because we have very nice outreach network and strategy. So everyone wants to collaborate with us. Also, we are very open with any kinds of collaboration, any kinds of supports, and we are very easy to deal, I think, so far. I mean, that's what people call. So we support many youth-led initiatives. This is one of the example of metrics. It's a national we do exhibition done by mechanical engineer students at Pulchok Engineering Campus. They do it every year, and we are supporting this each year with our capability, helping them to reaching out more people and making it truly national. So that people can know about it, what is happening, even though they cannot participate. We try our best to give our effort to make it more visible within the country and abroad. So we do organize interaction programs. So you can see how much people are coming. In fact, whenever we do something, the stairs also get filled with people. So people come that way in our program. So we really have good support from the public, students, and teachers. And we believe that it is because of the quality of the program and the time management. So we do start programs in time, every time. So we don't have record of less than 10 minutes delay. Even we have chief guest invited as a chief guest. We started program on time, and later on we introduced him. So we really value time. We really value people's appreciation and people's input and feedback. So I guess that is translated in our events, and you can see the crowd attending our events. So we started doing outreach since 2007. We used to use photographs from internet. Everyone, mostly do that, download from internet and use it. Then when we started growing, we got many queries. These pictures are taken by yourself, by your group. Then we were thinking of doing something, but we were not able to do that. But once Manisha got joined NASA, she got actually engaged to NASA back in 2013 April. She was our official photographer to take photographs of our interaction program with Vladimir Janibekov, 5 times cosmonaut into the stress. And after that, she expressed her deep concern and deep interest to be involved with our team, and we decided to welcome her. And now she is a part of core team, even part of our day-to-day office work. And we started this hosteling facility to support both Manisha and myself. We decided to have something substantial that really support this initiative. Otherwise, we felt that in past there has a lot of initiatives we started, and after a decade, so we really wanted to keep it further. So then we started exploring different approaches, and then decided, okay, let's have something that binds our team as well, and our team spirit, and also that supports our initiatives in Nepal in a deeper way and sustainably. So hence we started Sando Sansai Youth Hostel Private Limited. Maybe I can talk about it later. These are the pictures by Manisha. So this is the effort. You can see the reflection of our effort in the media, print, audio, radio, television, everywhere. So it's not that media is not supporting. This is the Gorkha Patra front page news. Issue team has audit. There is some errors that we corrected because it was a preliminary discovery, but now this news is true because we have 7 provisional discoveries. That means they are going to get named by their discoverer, the students from class A to university level. So we have these programs as well. I'll talk about it later on. So we have educational programs. So educational programs, as I explained earlier, so we have National Astronomy Olympiads, which we started back in 2014. 2014, we were just knowing the system, how it goes. 2015 was earthquake time. We started hostel in 2014 as well. Then 2015, it was a really hard time for us. We didn't crash that time. We somehow recover. And in 2016, even we participated in 2015 IOAA, International Olympiad on Astronomy and Astrophysics. People were amazed. They were thinking that seeing the news in the TVs that we were like that. But when they saw us, they were so happy, and they got to know that it's not exactly what media shows them about Nepal at that time. So we were able to give message that Nepal was recovering, and it's not as damaged as media says. And then in 2016, we got our first honorable mention. That's our international medal, international award at IOAA. And 2017, we got another honorable mention in Thailand. And 2016 was in India. And last year, 2019, we got this bronze medal in junior category. So that was started from last year as well. So these are the awards. We got another one, I forget to include that. We also have special award in International Astronomy Olympiads, which was held in 2018 in Sri Lanka. That was the first time we started participating in International Astronomy Olympiad. We started going to International Olympiads in Astronomy and Astrophysics first, and then we also include International Astronomy Olympiads, and we started participating in that as well. So these are the achievements so far in Astronomy Olympiad, and for me it's very satisfying because I can see all the faces growing to be a professional researchers in futures. They are doing fantastic job. I can see many faces, they are doing fantastic job. Tarun, you can see Tarun is doing physics. Now everyone is doing fantastic job. Like Vijay, Rahul is just doing physics in St. Xavier's 11th standard now, the bronze medalist. So they are doing fantastic job. And so it's not about only about the student who participated at international. So we really don't value too much going international. Our main focus is to organize National Astronomy Olympiad. As such, it truly reflects that it's an early stage talent program. We do host our exam centers at least one place in each province, so that if someone has deep desire to be a part of it, they will manage to come, because it's our constraint as well. We cannot go all 77 districts. There are several constraints, like astrophysics, astronomy is not taught as a specific subject, like physics or mathematics or chemistry. And also, the resources are not that very rich that we can reach. districts. But we do believe that at least we should cover, if we say it's truly a national one, then we believe that we should cover at least all provinces as per 7 provinces, so that if anyone has interest, he or she and others can participate in our program and test their knowledge and test their skills. So we do have these primary level programs we call universe awareness. You can see the kids, how happy they are doing and playing with this art ball, drawing. Basically, these initiatives are led by Manisha. She is looking after all the school level programs, and I do look after this university programs. Basically, when we divide the staff at our office, and they are doing, enjoying a lot. So these smiles actually drives us to move further in our efforts. So we do teachers training program as well. So you can see we have teachers training programs with science teachers. We have these 2 photos, space education, and you can see the above one. And we do want to tell teachers that science is not that complicated. It's not complex. You can see that teachers are making the solar system, and it was even less than 5 rupees worth. They have cut the papers and colored that, and they use this broomstick. I think till sinka, they use that, and they are demonstrating eclipse. It was a workshop, hands-on, and they did that. So whenever we do programs, we do introduce one idea and engage them rather than too many ideas and like making participants complex. You can see that we are also selecting potential teachers and educators, researchers for our programs to go abroad and get trained. These are, it's just an example I wanted to include. Every year we select 5 people from Nepal to go to India at Homi Bhabha Center for Science Education to get, to understand more about how astronomy Olympiads are conducted. It's a basic one, primary one, but the secondary one was it will also give them an opportunity to explore the Indian education system, which is very, very close to us. And but they are doing fantastic in educational one. They have educational research facilities like Homi Bhabha Center for Science Education, which we don't have as far as I know. So it really gives the participant to learn more. So most of these 5 places is not in Nepal. They are doing their PhDs. So they are not in Nepal. They are doing PhDs and they are doing fantastic job. Probably they are also part of ANPA. I don't know. So we have to check. So you can see in the last one, you can see there are teachers and some officials from NAST. This was a meeting that we sent the teachers. We coordinated. If we send that, it's not that we paid for everything, but we find the proper way. We bridge them for an exposure event in Thailand, and we managed to send 8 teachers to Thailand for astronomy, hands-on science, space science hands-on program in Chiang Mai. So it was very fruitful. Most of them were teachers, school honors. Even though they are not really contributing to our activities, they are trying to improve their science education within their school, which is okay for us, because ultimately, again, they are part of our society in Nepal, so they will be contributing as a whole. So we see it as our success as well. There are several teachers going on after that, and they are participating, coming, and sharing their knowledge to their youngsters. So let me summarize, let's have a quick look our school level activities, which I think really gives an overview, because it might be too much complex, going one slide by one. These are the programs that we actually have in school from grade 1 to 12. So we do have National Astronomy Olympiad programs that is for class 8 to 12. All Nepal Asteroid Search Campaign, that is from class 6 to 12. In fact, it goes to university level as well, which I will show you later. National Space Art Competition, which is for the basic level, but previously it is called lower secondary level, 6 to 8. National Online Space Speech Competition, which is for high school level, 9 to 12. School level water rocket workshop, where we teach rocket science, working on the PET bottles, Newton's third law, and they do their experiments. We have some launchers, they use that, and they learn a lot. So space robotics program, where we teach robotics, but contrary to other robotics workshop held in Nepal, because we are for astronomy and space science, that we call. So we put our emphasis on space. That means we put our emphasis on automation, automatic. Like it's not manual. So we want to have some understanding how system works if there is problem, how to create backup plans. So we teach that way. So we have this ALE, that Airbus Little Engineer program, before, and we improvised that. This program is particularly devised and developed with Fly Beyond Dreams, which is the Spain-based organization, where majorly the people from Airbus are there, and they used to come often to Nepal, and we do programs together. So we have done, and our focus is mainly, we are not keeping our things and separating the school system. This is rich school, this is poor school, this is private school, this is government school. But our programs are basically, these programs are slowly inclined to the community-based schools, because we see that there is some gap, and those students should get empowered. It probably get got motivated from my school level education, because I studied at Sanskrit Madhyamik Vidyalaya, which is government school, and in fact when I studied there I got scholarship rather than I had to pay. So I never paid fees except in my master's, I guess. So, and these are the ideas. So we really need to support our students to come up and give them feel from both schools, that from community as well as the so-called big schools. We usually put students from community government school, which is usually regarded as a poor school, and the big schools together, so that create an environment where students can interact, so that they can feel, oh, we students are same, whether we study at ULENS, or whether we study at British school, or whether we study at Panchakanya or Nandiratri. So it's or Sanskrit Madhyamik Vidyalaya. It's same. The students are same, and they have rights to get access, and they should not be deprived of those opportunities available for them. We do organize science teachers training program, which is for basic level as well as secondary. We have programs called Universe in a Box. It's a box designed by our Universe Awareness Association, which is basically based in Leiden. We have a chapter for it. You can check in our website. So they have the product designed for class 1 to 5. And these products are really nice to give an overview of how our universe functions, what are the components of universe. It's really nice project. So we introduce this to primary level students. And of course, the observation program, I separated it as solar and night sky. We do solar observations. We have one PST, personal solar telescope, and one telescope, this 80 mm Skywatcher, which I modified, and our team is usually using that. You can saw in our outreach in Vasantagudava Square as well, in some of the pictures before. And we have another very special telescope as well from Daystar. Daystar Filters creates a very nice solar telescope, which is a company based in US, and it's run by one of my very good friends, Jen the Winter, and we made in 2009 during Linux Outrust, and we developed a good partnership, and we have that scope for our solar observation here as well. So it's pretty different than other two telescopes. We have H-alpha telescope, we have normal telescope, and we have this telescope which can be used to see chromosphere. So we can actually use these telescopes to do some research with small telescopes. So coming back to our programs with the university level, so it was pretty hard for me to summarize, but we do have programs for undergraduate. It seems that we are too much inclined at the school level, which is true. In fact, because those high school people will be coming up to the undergrad, grad, and again, they will be professional in future. So we have programs. In 2018, we developed a program under the guidance of Dr. Sanjay Caldwell. So we had discussions for a long time, and he is one of our members in our scientific advisory committee. As I explained, the scientific advisory committee is set up to advise us to have something that helps us, to create a substantial scientific community within the country. So we started this in 2018. We got partially funded by Office of Astronomy Outreach of International Astronomical Union as well, and we dedicated this to undergrad students. So we took third year, BSc third year, BE third year, and fourth year student, and we do have very interesting results coming out of it, and we decided to do another round we call DASN in short form 2.0, which was scheduled to be held this year, but unfortunately of this pandemic we will be pushing it down to 2021, but we are determined to do it again, because but there are some changes, so we decided to do it again for taking students from BSc undergraduate second year to third year, not fourth year, because we really want to give our efforts and want to make sure that students, when they come to our program, they learn something. They should be able to translate this knowledge and skills in their academic journey. If it comes in a different pocket, a different area, and it is not compatible with their academy, then they might be struggling to manage both. So to make them comfortable, to make them go further, and to also apply the knowledge they learned, we decided to take students from second year and third year in DASN 2.0, which is scheduled for 2021, as we couldn't do it this year. We usually do one workshop and then close follow-up with assignments, and then selection for the summer or winter school. For this year, we decided to have winter school in December and workshop, 2 days workshop in March, which we pushed in June. The workshop again from June, we pushed to 2020. So probably we don't know whether we do winter school or summer school. It depends on the research person, who will be joining us during our project. So it's all depend, and it's open. So if some of you are interested from ANPA to join and support in this initiatives, can join, and we can discuss to make it very effective, to give good insight to the students learning scientific programming, scientific writing, typesetting, and the way how research actually being done, which is really important for undergrad student here. We do organize all Nepal Astronaut Subs campaign for undergraduate grad as well. We take teams from there, but the idea is that if we take students from classics, the information and the guidance we are giving is different than we are giving and expecting from undergrad. For example, we already have 7 provisional asteroids discovered. So probably some of our university level students will be working on a deeper way of these 7 asteroids, looking for their orbits, their physical parameters, and we are probably going to publish something by 2020, end of 2020 or 2021. So scientific programming with Python. This is again another product by one of our scientific advisory committee member, Dr. Prajwal Raj Tafle. So we invited him to be here in Kathmandu in 2016. We did that. Unfortunately, we wanted to make it available to the faculties, which is not that realistic. But we do plan to renew this. We actually developed our own curriculum system for this training. We designed a special package, 7.5 hours, which actually became about 15 hours, and over a week. And then it was really, really good, because Our commitment was to help students to go further into their research career, and one of the participants actually published his work in Royal Astronomical Society under the guidance of Dr. Kafli and Professor Dr. Vinila Raya. So it was really fascinating, because we put some efforts, and we said students that, okay, if you really want to follow up, we are here. It's not for one time. It's just the beginning. Being a part of it means you open the door, so you'll be in touch with us. You'll be learning if you really want to learn, and we proved that. And there are a few scientific papers coming out. A few people, other people are working on that. So even today, I found that people who participated in that programs are taking, going back to the notes provided by Dr. Kafle and revising their Python skills. Especially scientific, we actually didn't do Python programming. What we did is we did scientific programming and used Python as a tool. So in market, there are a lot of courses going on which actually teach programming. But our effort is we don't teach programming, we teach scientific programming and use language, chosen language is Python, because it's really powerful. So we plan to have this again soon, and we have our own generated curriculum, and it was in fact certified by University of Western Australia and Nepal Astronomical Society. So those who participate in the program and receive the certificate, they receive certificate from which is certified that they know the thing from University of Western Australia and Nepal Astronomical Society. So we really want to create some programs. Probably maybe if some of the researchers, experts at ANPA is good, and some other programming, maybe Fortran, maybe C or C++ or other programming, we can design some programs and offer those dual certification programs and give them lifelong support as possible. We do have programs in space application, which is very infant phase. We have developed 10 years roadmap, special, very dedicated, high-level documents we have already created. We'll be opening some vacancies about this working group on space application, particularly working on multi-GNSS, this global navigation satellite system. And our space application program is led by Narayan Dittal, who is actually working at DLR specific office looking for this GNSS program. He looks after Galileo systems. Not really controlling it, but he worked there, and he is heading this group in our society. And these programs are special because it's a little bit more complicated, more higher level. So we are taking students from undergrad and graduate. So space technology, we did some programs on space balloon. We have some students chosen from Puchok campus. We had students from mechanical department, computer, electronics, electrical, and we developed a communication system for a payload which was supposed to fly from Mexico, and we sent that payload to Mexico as well. So we tested that, and it was a successful one, and we are planning to do another one. We also worked on our small satellite program, which is on hold at the moment due to financial constraint. But if we find someone interested, and we can work on that again. And this group is led by engineer Sudeep Patrai, who is also assistant professor of aerospace engineering at Puchok Engineering Campus of Institute of Engineering. So we do have people from space science background, and with their expertise. Engineer Sudeep is currently doing PhD in Canberra, University of New South Wales. He's working on this system, propulsion system, like the aerodynamics and scramjet, in fact. He's working on that, and he will be finishing his PhD in a couple of years. I think in less than 2 years, he will be finishing his PhD. So we started from last year's in NASA Space App Challenge, where it's a hackathon where participants usually use the NASA data, open data, Earth observation data, and develop different prototypes which is used to solve the problems, real world problems. So We started in Viratnagar and Kathmandu last year. This year, we are doing this in Itari and Pokhara, already approved for these 2 locations. We are waiting for other locations approval. So hopefully we'll hear from the organizer, global organizing team soon, so that we can start working on it. And since we started this program last year, to make it more sustainable, we signed an MOU, our partnership with this ING group is Innovate group, which actually runs 5 colleges in Nepal, including Maryland in Viratnagar, Itari International College in Itari, Islington College and Herald College in Kathmandu, and Informatics College in Pokhara. So these colleges are IT related colleges, so we decided to have partnership with this group, this education group, because we see, we both of us, NASO and ING, saw a good potential to go further in this program. So it's really going good. They are providing the venues for our programs as well. So it's how we are leveraging, utilizing and optimizing our resources together to give more to the society. We do provide, like for undergrads and grads, we provide schools, trainings, workshops, seminars, and conferences. We haven't done conferences, like directly, but if you ask me, I recall that we put a quite good amount of our effort to the International Conference of Frontiers of Physics that was held in 2009, I think, by Nepal Physical Society. We put a good effort on that. Voluntarily, we did volunteering there to make it more smooth, and it was one of the best, I think, conference so far organized by ANPA. And we do volunteer and give our expertise of outreach and organizing, university and logistics, which basically dealt by Manisha. She's very good on logistics. To the event, like a recent one was this regional conference on women in physics held in Kathmandu University by Nepalese women in physics. We put quite a good amount of effort on that. And we also work with National Youth Council organizing first youth conference on information technology, science information and science technology and information back in 2018. So which had more than 750 participants. There were 12 different parallel sessions going on. So we did manage that from our side as well. So we were a part of organizing committee as well. So technically you don't find anything about that, but we do have reports. So if you want to have a look on it, so from our thematic group, so we chaired, we coordinated for thematic group space science. And there were space science, astronomy and space science thematic group as well among 12, and we did coordinated that group, and also the overall management of the event from our side. It's a 3 days event. And so we also put efforts on organizing international events. So I do have good expertise. Likewise, our team has good expertise of organizing events. When I was working at Space Generation Advisory Council, I started an idea of having a regional conference, and which was realized in 2014 when I had a colleague from Japan, and we two worked so hard, and other people, everyone supported, and we hosted the first Asian Pacific regional space generation workshop in Japan in 2014, and it was the first time that that office has had a regional event, which is now very popular and one of the most substantial events, creating good mileage to the organization. So unfortunately, it's 18 to 35 youth groups, so I'm going to be a dinosaur in that group very soon. I shot that office as a national point of contact for Nepal since March 2009. For 2 tenures, I worked for the executive office station in Vienna from here during the time of 18 hours of power cut. And also I shot as a regional coordinator for 2 tenures, giving a lot of efforts doing, promoting the community. And in fact, the more I gave, the more I got, because especially this space-related stuff and networks is built within NASA. It's from the space generation community, and the people, even though we are not like like in an executive and council. It's really good group, really good unique platform to be a part of each other. I mean, we do share a very strong friendship, bondings, and people come to Nepal. We do go there and we host each other. It's really nice to be part of that group, and we are still working on that from a different capacity. So we do have observation program for undergraduates as well, as I said earlier. So it's a little bit different than the school one, but again, if for the freshers, it's the same like kids. But if they really want to do something, they can actually come at our office and do regular observation and do some research out of it. So we do have program on small research with small telescopes, and with the resources we have, it is possible to have a sound, good quality of research paper research out of it. So since the paper ANPA put this about outreach, how we do outreach that way. So I would say in one word that we are open, welcoming, friendly. I mean, not one word, one sentence problem. And we are available all the time. Like whenever people approach us, we reach them back. So our response rate is quite high, so almost 99%. We receive support from almost every corner of media and public and schools and colleges. So it's really hard to mention all of them, but if we don't, remember these three organizations you can see the logos there, then it will be injustice. So we really want to acknowledge the support of our national news agency, Rashtriya Samachar Samiti, for covering our press releases for the circular. National news agency actually have, I think, about 500 subscribers, and whether, it's really important because they are keeping all the archives of the news. So we not just want to be in front page or in newspaper and in limelight, but we also want to be in a record, national record. So we are putting a lot of efforts, and RSS is helping us a lot in that domain. So we really want to thank them for their efforts and coordination and support for reaching, archiving, and recording, promoting our content, science through their channels. Routine of Nepal Bundle, probably every one of you have heard of it. This is the #1 social media group sharing information in Nepal. We cannot go without mentioning them. They are a good supporter. In fact, we work hand by hand, so they got a lot of queries on science things, and we do spend a lot of time verifying their content. And they share that. It's not that they share our content as well. There are a lot of scientific contents, wherever there is some achievement by Nepalese staying in and abroad, they do share. So if there is something that you would like to share from ANPA community through this social media group, reaching youngsters especially in Nepal, to motivate them to pursue their dreams, going in scientific field and research domain or education domain, or in entrepreneurship domain in science, because people in Nepal think that science people cannot do entrepreneurship, and the entrepreneurship is not for science people, which is, I think, completely incorrect. So unless we do entrepreneurship, we do not learn, learn to make, good earnings. We want to learn. We want to research, we want to create something, and we also need to be able to sell that product. If we design some product and build some product or create some product, we should be able to sell that product so that we get money out of it. So I think entrepreneurship is really, really important for science people as well, which is pretty lagging. So this is important as well because people see that they always rely on the funding agencies and looking for, like, for example, in Nepal, people are looking into the face of NAST, Nepal Academy of Science and Technology, and UGC, university, and they also see government. So there is not, the bigger pictures of people looking for different dimensions of doing funding practices. So, and solving problems of people doing science. So if we solve people's problems, so they will solve our problems. So science won't leave you poor. So this is the message I would like to give to people. So also we would like to acknowledge the Hamro Patro. Hamro Patro is one of the very popular utility app, mobile app, which has about 5 million plus downloads, and I think they have more than 2 million active users. And they do cover, they have special channel for us. You can see a NASA channels there in the video section, in text section, and you can also read a lot of news about us in that program, in their platform. So we want to acknowledge them as well for helping us reaching out. We do have community there. You can join Nepal Astronomical Society community in Hamro Patro. Besides this, for outreach efforts, I forgot to mention, but we do have very strong support from Nepal Academy of Science, Nepal Academy of Science and Technology, NAST, Russian Center of Science and Culture, Southwestern State College. So Islington College, like ING Group, they are working. So there, we have, these are the few names which we regularly do programs with them. So we use heavily NAST premises, and they haven't rejected our proposal so far. So every time they accepted, we are hosting programs there. Even which is RCSC premises, they provided us their infrastructures. They are not supporting financially, that's a different word, but its support is not only through finances. So it is resource sharing as well. So NASA strongly believes that the collaboration through this we call it resource sharing, like in-kind partnership, in-kind cooperation. So recently we signed our MOU with the ANPA Committee of Kashmir University Supercomputer Facility as well to support our upcoming research ideas. So we are creating an infrastructure to support our research program that we are bringing up this year by the end of the year, probably. So, so we are stepping up our community. So for more information, so you can visit our website. So we are trying our best to make it more accessible, more interactive, and more engaging. So when people come to our website, we want to stay more. So I have already appointed voluntarily one of our followers doing volunteering and who has experience in looking into the website and all. So he probably looking into it. So by the week, end of this week or something, we'll have some idea, and I'm sure by the end of this year we'll make it a new format and more engaging and interactive. So if you have any queries, any feedbacks, please visit that website and give us feedback so that we can improve. And thank you very much for listening. So I'll be happy to answer any queries if you have.
All right, thank you, Cyrus. He presented so many things. I was really thrilled to see that many activities you did, from Nepal. So many. It's amazing, the activities, the performance of the works and all these things, nationally, internationally. You reached almost everywhere in this world. So it's great to see that. So
thank you.
Yeah. Yes, so please go ahead if you have any question or if you'd like to interact with Suresh, please unmute yourself and ask question. Maybe we have a question in Facebook live too, so we can pick up if there are any questions from there too.
I have a quick one. Hello?
Hazir, please.
So when you do the Olympiad, do you have to be affiliated with certain organization to be able to hold the Olympiad?
Which one?
The astronomy?
Oh, sorry. Yes, we are a part of international board of International Olympiad of Astronomy on Astronomy and Astrophysics, as well as this International Astronomy Olympiads and Asian Pacific Astronomy Olympiads. We must be a part of it, so that because there is a it's a heavy job, so we do have to do voting. If there are some issues, we need to judge, we need to evaluate papers. So yeah, we are part of that international community as well.
Okay, cool. That's some nice exposure there.
So it's a heavy job. You can imagine. I tell you that you don't get time to sleep. Okay, so there are 5 students going, and you have to check their every problems, minute. And then you have to sit in the moderation round. You have to discuss in the problems, which is really tough problems, honestly speaking. Like I haven't heard those problems while studying astrophysics in my university career. So I'm really inspired the way we could draft problems, and most of the problems in Olympiads, they are original problems. You don't see the repeated problems in Olympiads. So students really don't should not expect that seen problems in Olympiads. There are new problems every time. And the academic committee councils really put a lot of effort to draft those questions. So that's why we haven't decided to push the Olympiads in Nepal, because it's really tough. It's not that, like, for example, in financial terms, we can do it about like 5 or 10 crores probably, because we have to pay everything. We can't charge. From a few years time, they started charging registration fee time and often, up to $500 or euros. So in that case, we can raise some funds, but most of the expenses should be borne by our side, so the country who is hosting. And if even we manage that money, we don't have enough human resources to create those problems and to check those problems. So what we are seeking is, we started from 2014, so it's already been 6 years, and most of our the graduates from Olympiads, they are also graduating from university level and doing their best. So probably in couple of years time, we'll be able to host it with their help, because they know how it functions. Like, it's not that you should know the true spirit of Olympiad to host it and to make the question. So we are expecting those students coming back to our community and contribute, so that we'll be able to host international Olympiads in astronomy and astrophysics, international astronomy Olympiad, and Asian Pacific Astronomy Olympiad in the countries.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. I have one more.
Please.
So for the certificate program that you ran for the Python, the students get the certificate. Is there a fee associated with it? How does that affiliation work? Like, is there, because if it is coming from a university, there must be some formal steps going on.
Oh, yes. So it was, at that time, it went this way. So Dr. Prajwal was working in that university. So he should get leave from that university as well. So we were developing these programs, and he actually, when he went to his office and he for the leave, and then he said he wants to do this program. Then his office wanted to see what he was designing, and as for his information, the office actually committed him to run that program there as well. Otherwise, they won't, approve his leave. So that way, we also got an opportunity to involve that university in certification. The certificate was signed by as an instructor and research person by Dr. Kafle and myself. So we signed together, and it was in that university letterhead.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you.
And those were extremely carefully taken into account. It's not that we produce multiple certificates without without names. It's not very. If people are not attending and they are absent, they are not doing best, we didn't give them certificates.
Right.
So we charged for that program 3,000 that time. and I think it's worth more than that.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Welcome.
Are there any questions in Facebook Live?
Yeah, if there are any questions in the live, Facebook Live, I think we can take this question too.
Excuse me.
Yes,
I have a question.
yes, please.
Hello.
Yeah, I've got a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So you run like elementary school. You go to elementary school and run your programs, right? So how do you select which school you are going to? Are you going to the school within the Kathmandu Valley, or are you going towards the remote area to the west or to the east? Because you may have funding problem if you go outside the Kathmandu Valley. So I just want to know how you go on with those things.
Okay. Thank you so much for question. So we do go like outside valley often. So we were recently in Damoni, so in Maya school. So we usually got invitation from the schools, and we analyze and see the potential growth of our participation and how effective it will be in that part, because all of us are doing volunteering, and we want to make sure that our efforts is going in a right path. It's not wasted. Our time is the most valuable thing, I think. So we are choosing the school that way, but also we are open to anywhere. We have been to Dangari, we have been to Ilam, Japa, Shankar, Sabha, Taplejung. So we go everywhere. It's not that every time I need to go. We have a team, and in fact now since 2007 to now, we started growing quite exponentially our network from 2014, when it started working in a legal manner and in an institutional way. So we were not institutionalized before 2014. In 2014, we got our institutional status. So we got registered ourselves as not-for-profit in company register office, and we started creating our office, physical office, which really exists, and people can come, sit, talk, learn, and that's how we go. And we have by now. We have quite good network of people who can at first hand do our outreach from there. So for example, if someone wants our program in Taplejung, I don't need to go there. So no, we don't need to go from Kathmandu. We have people around Dharan, Biratnagar, so they can easily go. Damak, we have a station in Damak. Multiple campuses are one of the academic partners. So we have students there, faculties there, who can take telescope right away and go to the school and do outreach. Likewise, we have groups in Pokhara, in Gandaki boarding school. There are telescopes as well. There are other groups. So in past, from 2012 to 15, we spent a lot of time, trying to create a network. Like our propagation center in different provinces, different regions. And there we set up different group societies as well, which are now we leave them as independent offices. They are working fantastic job. Like Pokhara Astronomical Society used to be our sister organization before. Damak Astronomy Club is still under our guidance, but they are almost independent. There was a Dang Astronomical Society which used to work with us, so they stopped sharing their information. So we don't say they are under our affiliation now. So we set up almost like each region. Before we used to have 5 regions. So we started creating a propagation center to have effective outreach plan, which did really go as planned, but there is something going on. And now we change our pattern. So we created a clusters of our volunteers who are really dedicated, and we invited them time and often to our office. We train them and we send them back to their place. So, and from there they can start propagating in other areas. So only thing we are lacking is we really need to buy more telescopes and send them so that these people can go. Like Damak, they have telescope. and Dharan, they have telescope now. They bought on their own. And in Biratnagar, they have telescope. They bought their own. For this, we partnered with Make Engineering consultant, which actually import good quality telescope in Nepal, and which is also supporting our space art competition, providing telescope to the first prize. So we do partner with communities, business community as well. So this is how we are growing and creating our outreach network. So we go everywhere if there is demand. There should be some demand. People should reach us. If they reach us, definitely we will be there sometime to interact with.
One more question, right? You showed one picture showing 5 faces, right? Those people went to Alibaba. Is that program continue this year as well? Because I think those pictures were from 2014, I guess.
Yeah, that program started from Actually, the program started from 2012. 2011 we met the people. 2012, 3 people from our volunteering group went to India, but it was not coordinated. 2013, 7 of us from our community, from office. It was official visit from NASA in 2013. And from 2014, we started sending 5 teachers, except 2016. 2016, there was no teachers training. But from 2014, we are selecting 5 people and sending them for training to India.
So what is the criteria of your selection?
The criteria is, it is for the Astronomy Olympiad exposure grant. So we see commitment from those participating teachers or educators to support our Astronomy Olympiad initiatives in Nepal. Unfortunately, which the return rate is extremely low, but we are happy.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we're running out of time now, so I'll take just one last question. Here is one question in our Facebook Live from Suman Satyal. How about government funding? Do you get anything or apply for that?
That's a very good question, and in fact, he is one of the awardee of National Youth Council, Ministry of Youth and Sports for a scientist award, and back a few years back, winning 1 lakh rupees, I think. I would say congratulations again in this forum, which he committed that he spent on establishing libraries, and told us that he will be separating certain money for supporting research programs. So about government, we do approach them, but had we been expecting from them, we had not come so far. Even government is seeking support from outside, so they are not really in a position, in a sense, honestly speaking.
It's
the government
11:30.
offices, they are ready to support in all means, but financial, they say, let's not talk about finances. Everything is possible, but let's not talk about finances. So finances, really no. As I said earlier in my presentation, so if we calculate all the supports we received from the Nepal government, the tax money to our community from government side, it's less than 1 lakh rupees so far, from 27 to 2020.
See, okay. Yeah, there's not much help from government, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we really need to find alternative way to do fundraising. So if we expect and stay, it might not be promising. So we know that it's not promising. So we really need to figure out alternative options to support our initiatives and to fundraise.
Yeah, that's for sure. Running such a big outreach program from Nepal, it must be very difficult in terms of sustaining it in the long term. So that's for sure. It requires some sustainable resource to take it down the road in future. Thank you, Sureshji, for your nice talk this morning here in US and then evening there in Nepal. So we definitely, I can see a lot of avenues for collaboration between these organizations, ANPA and NASA in future. That's for sure. We'll keep talking. We'll keep having meeting and other collaboration. So thanks for joining us, Sureshji, and then everyone else who is here this morning. And then I would like to just stop this webinar now. Thanks.
Thank you so much.